breast milk is the best nutrition for babies. The World Health Organization recommends feeding infants only breast milk for the first 6 months of life. Breast milk can give babies the best start for growth and development, as well as lifelong health benefits. Infants who are not breastfed need a breast milk substitute, like infant formula. This video will demonstrate how to prepare infant formula so it is as safe as possible for your baby to eat. We will review, first, how to clean the equipment used to make the formula, and second, how to prepare and store the formula.
Let's get started by cleaning the equipment. First, wash your hands with soap and water and dry with a clean paper towel. Next, you will need to wash all the bottles in hot soapy water. Use a bottle and a nipple brush to remove all formula from the previous feeding. Rinse the bottles and the nipples. After that, we will sterilize the bottles and nipples by putting them in a pot of water and bringing them to a rolling boil. Be sure the bottles and nipples are completely covered in water. Keep the pot covered until you need the bottles, or you can put the nipple and caps on the bottles and store for later.
With powdered and concentrated formulas, you need to add water. Tap water is usually best in most areas, but you should talk to your doctor about your water source. Most people use powdered formula because it's the least expensive type of formula and convenient to store after opening the can. But powdered formula is the hardest to prepare safely. Powdered formula is not sterile. It may have harmful bacteria in it. So when you prepare powdered formula, it is important to use very hot water to kill the bacteria. The water has to be over 158 degrees. Clean the surface and equipment used to prepare formula.
Wash your hands with soap and water and dry with a paper towel. Start with cold tap water. Boil the water, then let cool slightly, but no more than 5 minutes. Remember, we have to use very hot water to kill the bacteria in the powdered formula. Read the directions on the can for mixing the formula and check for the expiration date. Adding too much formula or not enough formula can make your baby sick. Each formula brand may have a different size scoop and directions. Now we're ready to mix the formula.
First, pour the water into your clean bottles, depending on how much your baby eats at each feeding. The water will be hot, so you may need to use a pot holder when holding the bottle to prevent burns. Make sure you pour the water to the exact amount. For example, either to the 2 ounce, 4 ounce, or 6 ounce line. Use a scoop in the formula container to measure the powdered formula. Fill the scoop and level it off with a knife. Do not pack it down. In the 2 ounce bottle, add 1 scoop of formula. In the 4 ounce bottle, add 2 scoops of formula. In the 6 ounce bottle, add 3 scoops of formula. Most newborn babies only use between 2 ounce and 4 ounce feedings, but we can make a 6 ounce bottle and pour it into 2 3 ounce bottles. We want to avoid using half scoops of powder. Put the nipple and cap on the bottle and shake well. The scoop should be clean and dry when you return it to the can, and store the can of powdered formula in a cool, dry place. If you're going to feed your baby right away, cool the formula to a safe temperature by putting the closed bottle in a cup of iced water. Test the temperature by shaking a few drops on your wrist. The formula should feel neither hot nor cold.
You need to add water to concentrated formula in order for it to be safe for your baby to eat. Read the instructions on the can and check for the expiration date. Before opening the can, wash and dry the top. Shake it and open with a clean can opener. Generally, you add the same amount of water as concentrate to make a feeding. An easy way to prepare concentrated formula is to add an entire can of concentrate into a pitcher with a can of tap water. Water does not need to be boiled. Mix well and fill the bottles to the desired amount for one feeding. Put the nipple and cap on the bottle, and if feeding right away, test the formula's temperature on your wrist. If you need to warm the formula, put the bottle in a small bowl of hot water. Before you feed your baby, shake the bottle and test the temperature on your wrist. It should feel neither hot nor cold. A helpful tip is to label the pitcher of formula with the date and time to avoid feeding your baby expired formula. After you start to feed the baby, throw out any formula left after 1 hour. Prepared formula should not be left at room temperature for more than 2 hours.
This formula is ready to use and does not need any water added to it. The first thing we do is read the directions on the container and check the expiration date. Then shake the container well. If you're using a large container, pour enough formula into a bottle for one feeding. And put the nipple and cap on the bottle. If you are using a single portion container, just put the nipple and the cap on the container. If you are feeding your baby right away and need to warm the formula, put the bottle in a small bowl of hot water and shake the bottle to mix well. Test the temperature on your wrist before feeding your baby. After you start to feed the baby, throw out any formula left after 1 hour. Prepared formula should not be left at room temperature for more than 2 hours.
If you're going to feed your baby later, store the unused bottle in the refrigerator for no longer than 24 hours. Do not heat the formula or bottle in the microwave. It may burn your baby.
Here are some useful tips for when you are going to be out and about with your baby. Make sure the formula is cold before you leave the house. Take the bottles from the refrigerator and place in a cool bag with ice packs. Rewarm when needed by running the bottle under hot water. Another option is to bring a few unopened ready-to-use bottles with you in your bag. Keep the clean caps and nipples in a plastic bag. Be sure to share these instructions with anyone else who may be feeding your baby.